I'm just honest.
Well, guys, I'm sure you must be thinking, what is this tall, brown and bald guy to tell you what you don't already know? Yeah, and it is actually true. All of you know a lot of stuff. You learn, you read in books, and you agree. But very rarely do we actually follow what we agree in real life. Take for instance the golden rule of silence is golden. Tuck, 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 tuck. Or arguing is the worst way to make friends. And although I know these rules, so it applies for me as well, I know these two rules, but I always find myself arguing with my 6-year-old son on why transformers are really a waste of money. Or even after 8 years of marriage, I find myself arguing with my wife when she says, looks in my eyes and says, what are you thinking? I said, no, I'm not thinking anything at all. I defend myself. Isn't it possible not to think? She says, no, not for me. I said, well, not for you, but it's for me possible because I meditate. But she wouldn't agree. So listen for you girls, boys can be blank. Right? So, the real idea is we don't follow what we read. So what should we do? Should we just lie down and say, oh, habits are difficult to break and habits are superior to our desire to improve. So we want to improve, we want to smile more and be nice to people and be more agreeable to our spouse and our child and our friends and our boss. But no. So what should we do? What do you think? Let things be the way they are? Well, I have a secret for you. I have a secret. It's used a lot in the coaching community, and it's the idea of affirmations. So, our brain, alright, our brain develops patterns by the way we practice them. Alright, so when a child is not able to walk, he starts walking, he falls down, he knows how to balance with his middle ear very intuitively, and he starts to walk again. So patterns are formed. Well, how can we make these patterns without actually going to somebody who has horns on his head and say, alright, let's argue, you try and I'll keep quiet. We can't do that. So it's difficult to first find people who want to argue and then to try to zip up and let them speak and smile. It's difficult. So how do you do it? The secret is to make the patterns for yourself in your own time. Alright, so let me do a small workshop for you of 2 minutes to help you stop arguing. Could you please pass this? Yeah, just pass it behind you. And when everybody gets it, I want you to write your name. I want you to write your name. If you don't have pens, please take pens. Anybody not have pens? Everybody has pen. Alright, write your name over there in big bold letters. Write your name over there, and I want you to write your name and read it in your mind 3 times. I want you to read it in your mind 3 times, please. Really mean it from your heart. Really want to do it. Read it 3 times. Alright? I want you to close your eyes. Can you please do that? Put that paper, all your papers and bags, just put them on the side. Relax, close your eyes. Close your eyes please. Yeah? Now imagine yourself with the person you normally start arguing with. It can be your wife or husband, it can be your boss or your friend or your child. Imagine in full color 3D with Dolby and surround sound. Imagine the dress they are wearing, the color of their hair or his hair, not the smell, only the perfume. Now imagine yourself approaching them with a wide smile and the conversation begins. Now imagine that you're listening to them attentively and you're actively looking out for points of agreement. You're looking out exactly where both of you agree. You then start to ask them about questions about what you agree. So if you think you are agreeing about something, you want to ask more deeply about it so that you will agree more. Then imagine yourself telling them that you agree with this in a very creative way. So you can say, I agree with you, and perhaps with your years of experience you will easily see that, and you add your own points. Or you can say, I agree with you, and perhaps you would also appreciate the following facts, and you add your own points. Now imagine, you're giving a lot of talking space, and imagine the person smiling at you. Imagine him smiling, and imagine him believing that you are the best person, the best friend he has ever had in his life. Imagine him smiling, and imagine all the people you will now affect in this way. And there's a full room of people who appreciate you and love you for listening and for not arguing, but for trying to build a consensus. Open your eyes, please. The secret is to do this at least twice a day. Do it for at least 1 week, or as long as your actual habits are reversed or taken, superseded by this new habit. It's really very simple. You have patterns in your brain, and the only way to beat them is to create new patterns. You cannot practice it, so practice it in your mind. And brain loves emotions. The brain loves color in 3D because the limbic area, which is associated with emotions, is very, very close to your long-term memory center. So you're creating patterns with emotions and colors and sound. You're imagining and telling yourself, because I can't practice with you. I hate you perhaps. But I can practice with myself. And the more patterns I make, so if you do this twice a day, the first thing that will happen is the next day when you start arguing, you will say, I'm being a hypocrite. I'm telling myself to do this, but I'm actually arguing. You stop yourself. Within 2 or 3 days, you find yourself taking the new habit. Some people do it instantly. Try it, and this is the way to change from learning to practice. Go well and go successfully. Thank you.
As I say, Vikas always gives us excellent speech. Every time we learn something from his speech. Now another 1 minute of silence so that you can give us feedback to Vikas.